Welcome back. Well, I spoke last hour with Sharren Haskel, Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister, who gave me her reaction to Mossad unmasking the Iranian mastermind behind the global attacks. Here she is. We learnt today from Mossad that Iran was behind a global spate of anti-Semitic attacks. We hear that the idea is terror without Iranian fingerprints. Can you tell us some of how these attacks were orchestrated?
Obviously what the Mossad has revealed is extremely important, but it's something that many authorities had an indication prior to that. Sharri, we are sharing intelligence with many countries, including countries where there's governments where we have some challenges or some tensions with. The thing is that sharing this information is not about a bilateral relationship or international relationship. It's about saving lives. It's about saving Israelis' lives. It's about saving Australian lives as well. Iran's fighting a war which is not a territorial war. It's fighting a religious war, a cultural war, where the Jews are at the front line. There's a saying where they say, first they go for the Saturday people and then they go for the Sunday people. And that's exactly part of their strategy and how they're operating all around the world.
And this, I think, really shows that point. I mean, the entire time we've said that Israel is fighting this war against terror on behalf of the West. And I think the Australian government hasn't believed that truly, but they should absolutely now, that we can see that attacks carried out in Australia were, according to Mossad and our own agencies as well, were orchestrated by Iran.
Well, Sharri, look, the security forces in Australia work in close collaborations with ours. And this is important, as I said, to save lives. It's not about a relationship, but about saving lives. Now, this close cooperation and sharing and friendship, the Australian government knows about it. Many things the Australian government have known that have happened all around the world, including in Australia. And I have to say, the policy in regards to Israel during the last 2 years, it wasn't about international affairs. It wasn't about foreign policy. It was about internal politics. That's what it was about.
No, absolutely. Domestic politics here in Australia, and also the Prime Minister's own long-held beliefs. He's been a pro-Palestinian activist for a long time. But this, as you say, shows the importance of the relationship with Israel, that just how critical the intelligence sharing is. And that's not something that you're saying that will ever be under threat, regardless of the hostilities from the Australian government?
Yes, look, you know, Israelis and Australians have a historical relationship. It doesn't depend on one government or another, but it goes way back. Sharri, the Australian horse battalions are the one that liberated Beersheba from the Ottoman Empire. The only other flag except of the Israeli flag that's waving in Beersheba is the Australian flag. So, no, it's the people-to-people relationship. It's the business-to-business relationship. That kind of friendship, long one, is the friendship of a true ally. And despite challenges that we have with the government, the interests of the Australian people, and especially the security, knowing what a global threat we are facing, understanding the atrocities of the 7th of October and what a trauma and a scar it is on our heart, we don't wish that upon anyone in the world. And anything that Israel can do in order to prevent things like that of happening, whether it's in Latin America or Australia, we'll do that. Because at the end of the day, we are facing the same threat, and we have the same moral values that binds us together. Values about freedom, democracy, women's rights, freedom of expression, and journalism, and all of these things that we cherish, that we are fighting for, are the same values that Australians believe in. And in what the challenges that we're facing, we will do everything in order to protect and defend and cooperate in order to save lives, whether it's Israelis or Australian lives.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, we are very grateful here in Australia for the intelligence cooperation. Really appreciate your time as always.